Okay, so this part of the tutorial covers your WordPress backend, and once you install WordPress, this is exactly what you will have. You can close this for now, and then this is your dashboard. This is where you have all the tools that you will use for your design, and this is the WordPress backend. This is your front end. It's empty, there's nothing there at the moment. So let's start designing. Before we start designing, I would like to quickly explain some things. If you move to the left hand side of your dashboard and you go to appearance, you have what we call themes. Now, what a WordPress theme does for you is it is actually what determines the look and feel of your website. Your WordPress theme is what determines what your website will look like in terms of design, layout, and structure by the time you are done. And by default, WordPress comes with about 3 default themes that you can play around with. And you can see that for each of the themes, they give you a preview. You can see for each of the themes, they give you a preview of what your website will look like by the time you are done. If you click on preview, okay, it gives you a preview of what your website will look like if you use that particular theme. But this is more like by the time you've added content and you've done a proper work, this is just what the layout, this is where you have your menu, your logo, everything that's related to your site. So we have what we call WordPress themes. Now, apart from default themes that come with the WordPress installation, you can also buy your own themes online. And a very good website where you can buy themes is themeforest.net. Okay, so look at, they have different categories, and under WordPress you have themes for e-commerce, which is what we are dealing with right now. Okay, so this is an e-commerce theme. Let me just click on this so that you get a clear picture. This is what this theme looks like. If I click on live preview, so if you click on preview, this is exactly what you have. They are trying to explain the different features of the theme, and what that means is by the time, let me look for a better theme. I don't really like this theme, it's not communicating what I want to. Let me go back to Theme Forest, WordPress, e-commerce. I want a theme that will actually display okay, let me try this. Okay, let me do live preview for this theme. Okay, so if I buy that particular theme, this is exactly what my website will look like by the time I'm done. So I'll just change all these things to my own contents and products, but this is exactly what your website will look like. So you just install the theme and then you configure them and make sure they are working. This is exactly what your site will look like if you buy this particular theme that we are looking at here. So your theme is actually what determines the appearance, the look and feel of your website. If you need help in buying some of these themes on Theme Forest, you can just contact us. We can give them to you at reduced prices. So you can contact us if you need help with getting theme for your websites. We have access to most of these themes that we have bought in the past, and we can just resell them to you. So you can contact us if you need help on how to get theme, or you just come here and buy it directly anyway. But if you buy from us, it's going to be cheaper, so it's better you contact us. So that is what your theme is about. Then the next thing I want to explain before we start working is what we call plugins. And if you come to your WordPress dashboard and you scroll down to your left, you will see plugins. Now what plugin does is they extend the functionalities of your website, and by default these are some plugins that come by default with your WordPress installation. These are some plugins that come by default with your WordPress installation. What your plugin does for you is it extends the functionality of your website. Take for instance, we are building an e-commerce website now, and I want to be able to integrate payment using my card, so that when people place orders, they can use our own Nigerian debit cards here to make payment. I'll need a plugin to do that. That doesn't come by default with WordPress installation. I may be creating my site as well, and I want to create a form for people to fill and submit. I will need a plugin to do that. So what the plugin does is it extends the core functionality of your WordPress website. So the theme takes care of the look, the feel, the color, the appearance, the customization of your website, while your plugin takes care of the functionalities. If there's any particular function that you need to be added to your e-commerce website, you just need to look for a plugin that can take care of that. And WordPress has lots and lots of plugins once you just know the name of what you are looking for. If you are going to install a WordPress plugin, you just need to click on Add New. Okay, once you click on Add New, these are different plugins. So depending on what you are looking for, maybe a payment plugin is what I'm looking for now. I'll just type payment where I have keyword. Okay, it searches their database and then displays a list of different payment plugins. So I'll just go through them and see the one that will satisfy my need. So you can look at, if you click on more details, for instance, you get to see more details about the plugin, the functionalities, the screenshot, how to install and all that. So depending on what you are trying to achieve, can you see this is a plugin for PayPal, this is how to install, FAQ about the plugin, screenshots, how it looks like at your backend and all that. So that is what your plugin does for you. So for WordPress, you are working with themes and then you are also working with plugins.